They just released a massive update and our first tease for Stranger Things Season 5 Volume 2. We are just a couple weeks away and they are starting to drip feed us new behind the scenes images that they couldn't show us before, as well as reveal some very important details in some brand new interviews. We see what may be Max and Holly's first way of escaping Henry's mind. We see a much more ominous Mr. Whatsit. We learn that there may be something more important about who Dr. K really is. And we see that Mike and Will might be more important than we think. There's so many new teases to talk about, along with where we're going to pick up once we go into Volume 2. And we're going to break down everything today because soon we will be getting a new trailer for Volume 2 specifically. We have already seen some shots from the second half, but the next trailer will be 100% Volume 2. None of this included Kali, Max, or the Mind Flayer. And now that we know that Max is alive and Will has powers and Vecna is taking all the children, we are going to have so much more revealed very soon. Make sure you're subscribed and up to date on everything to prepare yourself for the ending of Season 5 and the end of the show. Now, starting off, we get a nice new look at Mr. Whatsit, Max, and Holly with a massive Demogorgon looming over the three of them for the cover. And this looks beautiful. We get another nice look at Max in the Upside Down, not Henry's memories. And I wonder if we're actually going to get to see Max escape Camazotz and go through the Upside Down here, or if this is just an exclusive design for the cover image. There's a quote from Sadie on it saying that Max and Lucas this season will be heartbreaking. I kind of feel like last season they were heartbreaking. I was kind of hoping this season they would be more heartwarming or something more positive. So we'll get to what that means in a minute. Now, this first spread shows us a couple new looks at Volume 2. The biggest is this picture of Max, alone in Hawkins Hospital. The shot is just of her, seemingly at night with it being so dark, but look at the caption. Sadie Sink as Max gets her chance to shine. I think this is definitely hinting at the episode Escape from Camazotz, when Vecna will learn that Max is working with Holly in his memories and he's going to send Demogorgons after Max's physical body, and then Lucas rushes to the hospital to save her, literally running away from the monsters while holding Max and Kate Bush in his arms. So this picture might be right before that. Next, we also see one of the stand-ins for the actual Demogorgon who will be chasing them in the hospital, which is kind of funny. Sean Levy posted some others a while back, but this is terrifying that this will actually be coming for Max while she's unconscious. This will definitely be one of those at the very last second they save her kind of things. And then here's a shot of Will, Mike, and Joyce right after the last shot of Volume 1. Will crushes the Demogorgons and falls to his knees, and we see Mike and Joyce look at him, taking in what just happened. And then when we return, they are going to be here, in front of the portal, looking at it close back up, or possibly looking at Hopper, Elle, and Kali if they can manage to escape through this big gate. I wonder with Will's new powers if this means Joyce is going to be less protective over him now, or if this will make her even more protective. At least he has a way to protect himself. Then we see a shot of Eleven at the radio station with her bandana and headphones on, most likely listening to static to help her ease into the void. Eventually, we will see her in a wetsuit and using the tub at Hop's cabin to go into the void, so maybe she isn't able to find who she needs to here. Now, they interview the Duffers, and it's pretty funny that the Duffers say that they're still waiting for Volume 2 to be finalized. This is just like Season 4. I know they're not as behind as last time, but sometimes I do worry. They also emphasize how much Kali reuniting with Eleven is going to completely change the dynamic going into Volume 2. So you can expect Kali to be very important and not something that is just for shock value. I'm really curious how they're going to use her powers to defeat Vecna, and also what Dr. K was using her for. Is she behind this big wall in the Upside Down? Was Kali creating an illusion preventing Vecna or Demogorgons from seeing the military base? Or is this some dampening device to restrain her so she can be studied? Because it really looks like they're using her here, or draining her powers. The Duffers also teased that the next big reveal, the big ending of Volume 2, will be revealing the mystery of the true nature of the Upside Down. Finally, it's only been 10 years. I am so excited to see how much we still don't know about this. They say we'll learn more about this new dimension Camazotz as well, which appears to be the creation of Vecna's mind. Then they say Volume 2 is going to be so different, not only with Kali back, but with Max back as well. And then they go on to talk about that there will be a lot to unpack from this cave memory relating to Henry's backstory, which means that there will be a lot of monologuing and flashbacks coming up that will be going back to the play to fill everyone in who hasn't seen it yet. Still can't believe they didn't release it on Netflix, but this is going to explain Henry's connection to the evil and will show us what made him the way he is. And for all of you that have seen the play, I'm sure you know what this means, and for any of you who haven't, or anyone who wants a refresher, I have a full video explaining what happened in this cave, or if you're curious, you can just watch the entire play breakdown if you really want to be caught up to speed on everything. The first time they went to the Upside Down, where Henry got his powers, where Eleven got her powers, they dropped so much lore. They also interviewed Sadie Sink here, who reveals that originally there was a version of season 5 where Max goes insane in Vecna's mind, and when Holly finds her, she's basically lost her mind and she's not herself anymore. This would be insane, and definitely a little disappointing for them to hold off on killing Max, keeping her alive all of this time to see that she went insane in his past saving. I'm so thankful they chose to go in a different direction here. And to expand on the comment earlier of Lucas and Max being heartbreaking, Sadie was saying how sad it was, the situation where Max and Lucas are so connected, and to see Lucas playing her song and Max hearing it and then it going away and them sensing each other's presence, relying on each other still, but actually not being able to be together is sad. But I don't know if we've seen them even notice each other yet or sense each other's presence, because even when Max first was back in the red space and heard Kate Bush, her body's heart rate started rising and the beeping from the machine was getting faster and faster, and for some reason Lucas still didn't notice this. So she might be referring to a moment from volume 2 right before she wakes up and Lucas saves her. Maybe this is the first time that Lucas will see life in Max. They interviewed Jamie Campbell Bower as well, and he mentions how Mr. Whatsit is a completely separate character from Henry and Vecna. Mr. Whatsit is this idea of what Henry could be in current day if he were still around as a normal human and he wasn't all bad. Because remember, he's just a couple years younger than Joyce and Hopper, and he says that in the next couple episodes, more of Henry Creel will show through Mr. Whatsit. This is so exciting. His true colors will finally shine, and I kinda think by this new picture they're revealing of him, we can already see what he's talking about. He also says that the first Shadow stage play affected him a lot and affected how he developed Vecna and Henry's backstory going into season 5. Henry's childhood and his relationship with his mother and father, who are not good parents, is something he used to understand Vecna and bring this character to life. He mentions how important to him Vecna and Will's relationship is, and that he really thought that needed to be explored more since there's so much unfinished business. There's so many questions there, which is so great to hear. With this being the last season, I really hope they actually do answer all of our questions, because it seems like there won't be enough time to answer them all, but everyone keeps saying everything will be explained, so let's everybody cross our fingers now, please. He also mentions that in Volume 2, we will be seeing a lot more of Vecna, Henry, and Mr. Whatsit, which is expected but still very exciting. He also teases about how Henry feels about Max being inside of his memories hiding, which I can't wait to see him find out Max and Holly are working together. And then he says that a lot of big things from the Stranger Things play will be explored further in Volume 2, most likely the cave scene, Hawkins High Picture Day, and of course Patty Newby, which I am very excited for. It would be so crazy if they actually used the original West End actress. She was perfect, but they'll probably go with someone who has experience in film. On this next page, we see a cool behind the scenes shot of Nell Fisher and Jamie Campbell Bower in Alice Creel's bedroom. Holly is still wearing the Alice in Wonderland dress, and I wouldn't be surprised if Henry is getting suspicious in this scene that Holly has gone somewhere she wasn't supposed to. We can see that ominous shot of Mr. Whatsit looking on in the rain here. This character looks so cool and eerie. I'm really looking forward to see his true colors come out in Volume 2. We also get a shot of a portal suspended in the air, and the caption says playing with gravity. It's for sure in the Upside Down. It looks small enough that it could just be another temporary opening that a Demogorgon ripped open, but it's hard to tell. We get to see a new shot of Robin in the basement of the radio station, and then we see a shot of the new bad guy still in the military base in the Upside Down, which means I guess he's still alive. I kind of forgot what happened to him, but last we saw him, Hopper knocked him out, and I guess he's just been lying on the floor of this monster's enclosure while all of this other stuff happens for the rest of the episode. That's crazy. Sean Levy says that he directs the episode Escape from Camazotz, where Holly and Max will be escaping, and it will be inspired by the last episode he directed, which was Dear Billy from season 4. He says that since this is the last chance to explore the Upside Down, they will be spending a lot of time there in Volume 2. He says that by the finale, everything will be revealed, and that Volume 2 will reveal another massive explanation moment. One of those scenes where Mr. Clark is usually explaining something very big and confusing and otherworldly with a very simplistic metaphor that makes it easy for the characters, and more specifically the audience, to understand what's going on. There's a big one in Wrinkle in Time, the book, that he could be referring to that is very similar to the Flea on the Tightrope season 1 example. I wonder if that's what what he's talking about. Nell Fisher revealed that she filmed a lot in the Creel house with the other children, revealing that all the kids Vecna is taking will eventually end up in the same space as Holly, like Henry briefly told her in the show. She says as Volume 2 progresses, Holly really starts to become the subject and starts to make things happen. Most likely with the Dimension Door spell her D&D character can cast that Mike told her about. That is the way that her and Max will be able to escape. I just wonder if they're going to bring all the kids with them or if they're past saving and they're going to be bad guys. Now, in an interview with Linda Hamilton, she ended up teasing that in Volume 2 there's a nice surprise for the audience about who Dr. K really is and what she's up to. As if she's someone more important than we realized. Like there will be this big reveal that she's someone that's been connected to all of this for a long time. I don't know if they would link her to Dr. Brenner, saying she's his sister or something. They've been trying to say this whole time that she's not just a Dr. Brenner replacement. But what if she was another mother Brenner experimented on, or Hopper's mother? I mean, I have no idea who she could be off the top of my head that relates to all of this. Now, in this last page of pictures, we see a brand new shot of Max and Holly looking into a hole in the ground in Henry's memories, possibly into a doorway out of his mind. The frame around it looks like a mirror or something from the Creel house. I'm not quite sure what this could be. And then the final new picture is of Lucas, Robin, and Will outside the radio station. Lucas is in the same fit we see him rescue Max in at the hospital. Robin has on her leather jacket here, and Will is still in his shirt from the Sorcerer. It looks like no one's getting any sleep around here. I mean, they don't really have time. They're all holding some kind of tool like a shovel or a rake or something as they're standing over something that's tied up in fabric. Maybe burying some Demogorgons or something. I still wonder whatever happened to that Demogorgon from season 2 that Steve put in Joyce's refrigerator. I wonder if that's one of the questions that they'll answer this season. I wouldn't hold your breath though. This picture seems to happen around the time we see the shot of the Mind Flayer particles swarming the tower and the shot of Will yelling run, and then also the one of him being trapped in this shot here. The Duffer Brothers also teased that Millie Bobby Brown and David Harbour carried a lot in the final episodes, as if there will be massive emotional moments as they fight Vecna and the Mind Flayer together, or if possibly one of them doesn't make it. They also mentioned specifically Finn and Noah also did a lot since Mike and Will both play central roles in the final episodes. This is very exciting and very concerning. We knew Mike, Elle, and Will would be the main 3 characters this season, but as we get closer to the end, I get more nervous for all the main 3 surviving. They also say that there is 2 hours worth of beautiful storytelling in the final episode that we just won't be able to look away from. They also mentioned that even though episode 4, the Sorcerer's battle, was harder to shoot than the finale episode 8 was, there's probably more VFX shots in the last episode, meaning that we will be seeing a lot of Vecna, the Mind Flayer, and Dimension X, which is exciting. They tease it's also bigger in terms of character and of course emotion, but we are going to have some very emotional moments in Volume 2. I don't know about you, but this was a very promising first look at what the second half will hold. We still have a bunch of trailer shots that we haven't seen yet, but none of those include the Mind Flayer, Kali, or Max. So everyone hold on to your butts because the countdown has started. Be on the lookout for another video very soon, and I will see you in the comments. Peace.